Hello, good morning, this is Diecast Luna. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video we are going to be working on this Max Steel. I think it's called a Max Steel. There you go. Little model from Hot Wheels that I picked up recently from the main line. I think it's a really cool piece. It's that sort of Bonneville Salt Flats look. It looks like it's based on an old 30s Ford, like a 32 possibly, that's been modified. I'm not quite sure 100% what the actual car is based on. I'm just surmising what it is. But with that, I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to change the wheels, and I'm going to possibly see if I can do something with the engine just to dress it up a little bit, and maybe blacken that, you know, give the lights on the front a bit of detail. Rather than chrome them, I might go for a bit of white paint. I'm going to play around with them anyway. So it's going to be more of a loose custom really, than it is just a wheel swap. Might give it a gear stick again, but we'll get it stripped and see what there is to play with. So 2 seconds. Right, let's see if it will come to pieces. So hopefully I've loosened it off enough. Just give it a gentle. Ooh. Nope, just a little bit more on that back. There we go, come to pieces at last. I try and keep it when I drill, after the last debacle that I had a week or so back. I try and make sure. I've always been quite a quick driller, and I've never really had a problem drilling pegs out ever. I very rarely go wrong, but now I always try and keep them really, take my time drilling now. I try to keep the holes a bit tighter. So there we go, it hasn't done any damage at all. And I've got an escapee, so I've got a wheel running away. But yeah, so there's the base. It's all turned out spot on. So I may do something with this base as well. I'm just trying to think what colour I can spray, because I've run out of black. But that's not a big deal. So we've got the base to sort, a little bit of salt on the base. There's the interior. Very little to work with, but I will see if I can do something with the interior as well. So that is pretty cool. And then there is the chrome piece. So, and obviously we've looked at this. So anyway, there is all the parts. The wheels I'm thinking of going with, I will show you very quickly, is these ones, which I think will look pretty good because, like I said, Bonneville salt flat cars, you know, they run on the salt. So, you know, I'm not a massive expert on them, but you can see that they would it would pay to have some knobbly tires. I'm going to stick them on anyway because I think it'll look good, the colour, and I have no decent big and smalls left wheels at the minute. So you've got to use what you've got to use, I suppose. But anyway, with that, let's get it done. And here it is, all done, and it's turned out really cool. I'm actually really quite pleased with it. For something that I didn't take more than an hour or so, 2 hours tops, as I had a sandwich partway through. Very quick custom. So yeah, as you can see, I've gone with the large gear stick again, like I did in my last car. That's a sort of nod to Mr. Hewitt's. As I said, I'm not copying his, you know, his customs by any means. I just really like the idea. This large gear stick is just a really cool idea, and in my opinion, it only really works on things like this, you know, sort of you know, hot rods and gassers and sort of salt flat cars. It wouldn't probably look so good if I did it in, you know, like a road going car, like a Ferrari or something, or a road race car. But anyway, in this it makes sense, so I've gone with that again, as you can see. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's turned out pretty cool. So as you can see, obviously it is still a roller. It is a good roller. So I've got real riders on the back, M2 wheels on the front, but I had to make my own axles for the M2 wheels as is usual. They don't like really going into the Hot Wheels stuff. Excuse me. Unless you're cutting the wheels off just to do a brief wheel swap, you can run a drill through very quickly, which is what I usually do to make them spin now. But when you actually take them to pieces, you haven't got that luxury really, so it's easier just to swap the axles out. But I painted what was on the front there was a fan, which would have had I thought it looked better if it was blackened off. As you can see, the lights have been done in chrome. I didn't paint them in the end, as I just thought I would go with the chrome, because the chrome doesn't look too bad and it's easier. And obviously, like I say, I've done the rocker covers in red, given the exhaust a little bit of, not black paint, just a little bit of black wash to give it the effect of as if it's been ran. And the interior is now green with a little red seat. And I've left the whole interior green, as I thought it would look good as a contrast as the back of the radiator and in between the V8, because a lot of the V8s, if you look underneath all the all the air filters and stuff, and remove all the carbs, and you get down to the middle of the V8 where the actual valve cover, or where the actual push rods would be, you do quite often have either a black panel, or some people paint them different colors. So I thought it'd look cool in green between the between the cylinder heads. Not that you can really see it, but it does look good when you do actually have it in hand. I was trying to put another steering wheel on this. I've got some other steering wheels loose, and as usual, once I'd given up looking and put my car all back together, I realised where the steering wheel was. So this was going to have a proper decent steering wheel, but it doesn't matter. That's just the way it goes. And I chromed the back of the differential. It's the same on the other side, and the underneath is pretty plain as it. As I said, I would have liked to have sprayed the base black, and then I would have done a bit more detail work to it, but it doesn't matter. So I've just done the diff in chrome and just done the bottom of the sump of the engine in chrome and left it at that, as you're not really gonna, it's not much detail there. But with that, like I said, it is looking quite good, and like I said, didn't take long. I think the longest part really was cutting the metal, bending it, and then gluing a little top on and chroming the top. But anyway, with that, I'm quite pleased, and like I said, it is a very good roller. So this is going to be for my collection. So that's today's custom wheel swap, whatever you want to call it. Before I finish the video, I will show a couple of cars that my eldest son gave me, my son William. So he randomly gave me this, which is really cool of him. This is from Matchbox. I think it was from about 1979ish. So a little look. So yeah, Matchbox super fast Ford. It's a Model A, Model A Ford. But very, very cool. And yeah, this is right. It's from the changer. The copyright's 79, but it's from, I think it says Macau. So this is when they swapped over to Universal Toys, and Matchbox was no longer owned by Lesney. But it is a cool piece. I've always liked this truck, and it's in just a good enough. It's in good enough condition that I'm not going to touch it. This will just go into my collection as it is. So that was very nice of my son. And he also got me this from somewhere. Again, this is a sort of a salt flat car. Funnily enough, this is obviously a jet car, but it would have been something that would have run down the salt flats, and which is quite funny as I am talking about cars from the salt flats. But it's missing its tyres, but that's not a problem, as I have many spare tyres here, so I'm sure I will find some. So thank you to my son William. And with that, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more customs, wheel swaps, restorations, vintage pieces, RLCs, and all that good stuff to come, unboxings, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.